So, how y'all doing? Sugamonger. I think people who don't carry knives don't realize how often they would use said knife if they actually did carry it. The reason I say this is I was talking to a girl last night, right? And she had a very interesting standpoint. It was that the world has basically evolved itself to the point where people don't need to carry tools. The world has become stupid proof or idiot proof, right? They perforate packages and they've got all the little perforated lines on all the papers, and so you can rip it. You don't need a knife. You don't need to technically carry a knife around with you, right? And I thought that was a very interesting standpoint. Obviously, I don't agree with it. Everything isn't perforated, and there's a whole lot of stuff that you need to cut a lot of the time that isn't designed to be cut. So, I mean, you really do need to carry a knife from my perspective. But I thought that was really interesting. What got us into that specific conversation was I had mentioned, well, I can't remember what we were actually talking about, but I had mentioned I got a comment a while ago about somebody mentioning, oh, you would bring a knife to a funeral. And yes, of course I would bring a knife to a funeral because the situation hasn't changed. The activity may have changed, but the situation hasn't, in the fact that you don't know if you're going to need to cut anything, right? So you still need the knife regardless of the situation, and in that you tune the knife to said situation, right? I've got these kind of lined up here to the knives that I think may be a little bit inappropriate for that kind of situation, and knives that are more so appropriate for, more close in situations with sheeple, less, knife friendly people. And so I would never try to argue the fact that I cut stuff with my knives unnecessarily. You know what I mean? I use my knives for things that I don't need to. Those little perforated packages, I'm still going to pull a knife out and I'm still going to cut it open. You know what I mean? I'm still going to use a knife even when I don't need to. But with that, I think I use my knives for more situations than people actually realize that they would use them for. Not necessarily me. Even if they had a knife, they don't realize how many things they would use that knife for because they don't have it. They've tuned their lives, or they've tuned their lives to not needing that. They've adjusted to that level. And I'm on the other side. I've adjusted to the level of where I have these tools, you know what I mean? And so I use the tools that I have on me at any given point. And I think it's just interesting, two different perspectives on looking at what you need to carry around. That's it. Y'all have a good one.